Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character expositioner by me. So let's get into it. Neuvillette. Neuvillette did not know what was wrong with you, but you seemed rather unwell as of late, and he was worrying. That's why he was paying a lot of attention to you, and sometimes even refusing to do additional work. He would take you into his arms, kissing your forehead, as he begged you to pay more attention to yourself, not to overwork yourself, to be careful. But you would just keep smiling. Alright, Nivy, you're just worrying too much. I promise you, I'll be fine after a good sleep. You said. But how many times would sleep just be able to be the cure? And how many times would you smile to reassure him, even though you were in pain? You were scared of confronting a doctor, for the fear that it may be something that's bad. But you weren't getting any better either, and you wanted to at least have a chance at saving you, if there was one. It was already clear that whatever your disease was, it wasn't an easy one to defeat, with all the symptoms that you were showing, and how nobody seemed to know the cure for it. So that's why I called in a couple of Millicents, telling them to investigate and see what's wrong with you. And it turns out that it was a very rare disease, one that hasn't happened in decades. What do you mean? He told them, and there was grief in his voice. He felt like he was cursed. Cursed to see this. Cursed to see his beloved die before him, slowly and painfully, when he had all that power, and yet he was rendered powerless. What do you mean? It can't be the end. You need to find a cure. You need to do something about this. He kept saying, but they had to talk to him and calm him down. And once they went, there was a lot of rain. When he entered your room and saw you sleeping, he held you in his arms, and for the first time, he let himself cry in front of you, holding your hand and squeezing it gently, just wondering why this was happening to him, why you two were being separated, when he only wanted to be with you. He knew you were only a mortal, but he at least thought the two of you could spend more time together than the time that you were getting now. And as you woke up, hearing his tears, he gave him a soft smile, kissing his hair gently. It's alright, Neuvillette. I'll be okay. No, Ion. You don't know what they've told me. I know. And I still believe I'll be fine. And if not, then whatever time that we get to spend together, I believe that's enough, and I will be happy with you regardless. So don't cry for my sake. Instead, let's spend those days in happiness, and try to make up for the time that we may lose. You tell him, and as much as it breaks his heart, he knows how true your words are, and he wants to do everything to be able to help you and make those days be happy ones for you. Wriothesley. He knew something was wrong, and the moment he knew, he insisted that you let Sidween examine you. Please, Ryan. It's for your safety. I promise you will not regret this. And what if it's bad? What if I'm not okay? Then we'll deal with it. Knowing what's going on with you won't change what's happening. It'll be just a way for you to be able to live through it better, if it's as bad as you think it is. He says he knows the possibility, and he does not disregard it. In fact, He tries to prepare for something bad because he does not want to be disappointed. He doesn't want to feel like he hoped for too much. And it turns out he was right. Cedrine tells him that there's no cure for the illness that you have, and the only way that you could manage is just by medicine and trying to be careful with your health until you can't go on any longer. She will do her best to take care of you. And that was that. He felt numb for some reason, like he couldn't properly feel whatever it was in his heart, like it was too much. And when he entered your room to find you crying, he held you within his arms, rubbing your back gently. What did I tell you recently? I told you it wasn't going to be anything good. I'm not going to be okay. And now I am just... You will be fine, Mayan. You need to trust me. And if it's not going to be cured, at the very least we can try and make sure you live for the longest time that you can. I'll do my best. And so will Cedrine. You have to trust her as well. He cried into his arms, trembling. The weight of this, it was too much. And you were afraid. He knew you were. And as much as he was afraid as well, he couldn't show you what he was truly feeling at this moment. Now, you needed him to be stable. He needed to be strong. A shoulder for you to cry on. And even though he was suffering in his own way, he could not let you be busied with those things that were going on in his mind. What mattered now was making sure that you were stable and fine. Any stress was something you would not be able to take, happening to you after all that you're going through. And you just know that after that, anything you say will be something that he does. Because he knows that now he cannot take the time that the two of you had for granted. And the future suddenly seemed so small and so short because you're not in it. And now he has to do his best to shelter you, the light in his life, from the inevitable darkness that shall soon take hold of your own heart and body, leaving him in a dark tunnel with no end.